of our panelists just went to the Chicago Auto Show, that being John and Tony, and I want to hear what they saw at the Chicago Auto Show, because I haven't been to an auto show yet this year. So
yeah, so you're right. John and I were there for Thursday and Friday. Thursday is the first day of the media days, and that's when you have, mostly your standard media outlets, your car, your print magazines, as well as the online, the YouTubes, and all of that. And that's really when, like, the Chicago Auto Show has the unveilings and all the, the nice stuff and the good food and, and everything. And then Friday is what they call their social media day. And that's when they say, you're not real journalists, do your stuff and get out.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter on the whole social media day.
You hide it well.
So it's not, they've come down a good ways from what they used to be with that then.
And if you haven't yet seen our, I say our, is the on-screen talent for the Acura MDX Sport Hybrid. He does an excellent review, crammed full of really good information, details, and driving impressions. And then we also spent some time with the Ford Mustang Mach-E. I'm working on that to put that out soon. Now, the best part of that is, while we were there with the Mach-E, I think it was John, was it you, who saw a guy named Joe? He said, I think Joe is kind of in charge here. So I walked over and I said, hey, John, is there any chance we could maybe just get inside the car, open the door or whatever? And he said, well, I think you need to talk to these two ladies over here. Okay, so I walked over and I talked to a couple ladies and I said, any chance we can get inside the car? They said, well, probably not, but we do have our, it's like electronics or electrification specialist, something like that.
Yeah.
And that turned into, we met a wonderful lady named Lisa Teed, extremely knowledgeable, speaks very easily, easy to understand, great enthusiasm for the product. And John, I think it was a 10-minute interview with her.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's quite, I mean, we just kind of did a Q&A type session, and we just, asked a couple of questions, and she just went along with it and just described the whole product. It was very well done.
Yeah, so we started with the standard, this is the Mach-E, and this is what it is, and here's the size, and is this. And then I think the whole thing just kind of goes off the rails, and in the video is just going to like cut and say, hey, we're fortunate enough to be here with Lisa. Thanks for joining us. And then, we the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, which was a full refresh. And the Jaguar I-Pace, the RAV4 Prime, and I think that's it. I think those are the
videos.
Yeah. So I'm working to get those out. I'm aiming for one a week. So the next one will be the Ford Mustang. If you haven't yet seen the MDX Sport Hybrid, you should go watch it.
Can't wait. I love that car, actually.
Yeah, I did mention it in the video. Acura's system is underappreciated, I think.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm not a super big fan of the ginormous SUV class, but when I drove that car in Florida, 3 or 4 years ago, I really fell in love with it. It's brilliantly engineered. It's as efficient as something that size can be, and it's just wonderful to drive.
Mm-hmm. So if only they can stuff in the latest Accord system, pair it up with their 3-motor system, throw it into whatever, the RDX or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice in that car until John pointed it out. But yeah, it had 2 screens, navigation on top and the regular infotainment on the bottom. The bottom infotainment center looked basically like if you bought, and I exaggerate, but it's like looking at a 4K TV, and then the navigation is like pre-Gen 2 Prius.
Oh no.
It's like
Yeah.
so night and day, and
No.
it's like
It's
drawn
the
with a
same
dull
one.
crayon. Yeah,
Oh.
it's really bad. It's Minecraft to the other one.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It really is. Yes.
And I've been harping on Acura since 2005. I remember when the CSX was launched, which I don't think was ever available in the US, but it was in Canada. It's basically a Civic with, Acura features. And I remember looking at it in 2005 and going, this is terrible.
And almost every car on the floor, you guys know, wired to power up. And I mean, the navigation systems in these cars these days, I mean, holy shit. You like a 3D view and, an overlay of the map and the terrain. And I mean, truly amazing navigation systems.
Mhm.
And then you hop in this car, and I said, it just feels 10, 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was it. I mean, John, right? That was like pretty much the only
That
real,
was the only downside. Yeah.
the only downside of that car.
I have to ask John, were you made
Yeah.
to stand in front of the Chicago Blackhawks booth?
Oh, that's
Sorry,
cold.
Tony, what was the answer again? What was you supposed to tell Marge?
I did not have to punish John. He was.
Tony did mention that when we walked by the that
That's
same
where
area.
Tony and I saw that the new ladders were in.
And they were setting up again.
They were still setting up, were they? So Thursday was partial setup day.
What was the deal with the 34 Corvettes?
Oh, yeah. No, was it 34? 17? I don't know.
39? No, it was 30 something.
Apparently there was this thing where there was this auction to auction off a collection of antique or rare Corvettes, and something happened and that auction never went through. This was back in the 90s, I think, early 90s. And then these two people, set out on a mission to find these cars, because the auction never went. So, what happened to these cars? These cars had to be stored somewhere, and I guess they finally found them. And the whole display there was that now they're auctioning. No, they're not auctioning off. They're actually giving it away.
Yeah, he was talking. There was a winner. Yeah, and I just found it on Peter Mack's Corvette collection to be sold again. And 36 Corvettes sitting in a dusty parking garage. So these cars had been fully cleaned up, and not all of them, but many of them were there, and they were very nice. I'm gonna share this picture here because I think everyone needs to see this. It's like a sad sight. Here, these are the Corvettes in the parking garage as they were discovered.
Man, the 65 Corvette looked a lot like a Beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was their experimental phase.
Oh, yeah.
This is the kind of thing that like old car people have dreams about.
Right?
It's like finding a garage like this full of dirty but amazing vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a story a while ago that someone in Europe found a garage full of BMWs, mostly 5 Series from the early 90s, early to mid 90s. And a number of them were 5-speed manuals. And apparently they belonged to an ex-rental car company that folded, and then they just stored the cars. So if you ever wanted a manual 5 Series, that was your chance, I guess.
Yeah.
No. Oh, so any other thoughts on the auto show?
Yeah, I was just thinking, getting back.
The
shout out
Porsche.
to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say shout out to Joe and Andrew, who joined us and served as cameramen and Sherpas and key grips and gaffer boys. It was good to have some extra hands. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. I think Joe had some behind-the-scene photos as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the vehicles, the new Escape hybrid and plug-in hybrid were there. I couldn't find the Explorer hybrid. The Taycan was there, unlocked for media. That was quite nice. A couple of things that were perhaps not up to $150,000 vehicle snuff.
Like what are you suggesting, John? What did you feel was below that?
When I got into the rear rear passenger compartment, the area between the seats and the door, so that plastic area that where the rear wheel well intrudes into the cabin, it was hard plastic. It was exposed hard plastic,
Wow.
which does not befit a vehicle, that over $100,000, maybe in a $10,000 or $20,000 vehicle, but you would expect on a Porsche Taycan that it would be at least covered in leather or padded or some way or another.
Sure, the skin of exotic animals or endangered species or
Something
right?
like that, sure.
Yeah,
but I mean,
dressed up vinyl. to look
yeah,
like leather.
something, yeah. But so I thought that was a bit of an oversight for on Porsche's part. It might be minor, but the only reason why I noticed is because I hit my elbow on the way in. So
So you knew exactly it was a hard surface.
yes.
Mhm.
So yeah. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have looked in that area. But yeah.
And I have to admit that many of the shows in the past I had walked right by, but this year John had me sit in the driver's seat of a Genesis, and I
yes.
pretty much fell in love.
Which Genesis?
The G90.
Oh, I like that car. In fact, I was just
Oh.
talking about that car yesterday with somebody. Last night at dinner.
Yeah.
It was
no,
amazing. What was it? Things like, so each back seat's reclined with memory seats in the back.
Yep. All four
And-
seats.
Yeah, all four seats with memory storage, displays. You could control the infotainment center from the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me-
Which would really piss
Yes.
off the driver, I'm sure.
Right. See, that's an affront to any driver because the driver has ultimate radio controls. That better be disableable.
Well, I mean, unless you're expecting that vehicle to be chauffeured, then then the rear
Yeah.
passenger has final say.
And-
I will. Yep. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry, John. As I said in my review, from 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago, it's the ultimate real estate agent's car. It's a car you're going to be stuck in the back seat while somebody's driving you around. But hey, I'm comfy. I got a screen. I can control the HVAC. Life is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can also enter your navigation system address from there.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you could do ambient sounds. Which
Yes, that's
was
right.
really weird. You could do like radio sounds, and one of them was like Italian coffee shop.
Yeah, open air cafe. Oh, that was on the GV80 as well, on the SUV, the brand new SUV.
So we're not talking like go to sleep sounds like the ocean or crickets. We're talking.
Well, that's
There
like
is
weird stuff.
Right.
there is the falling rain,
Oh, okay.
open air cafe, rainforest.
Because
And if
nothing
it-
says driving I-80 across Nebraska quite like having the fall asleep white noise.
How about Midtown Manhattan during a pileup?
I'm walking here.
Yeah.